thought I'd record some today because shit's been going down. COVID seems to have magically been cured because people are gathering like crazy out there and not really caring about social distancing anymore. And people compare Black lives to annual lives, so everybody's going crazy these days. But I guess that's just 2020 for you. Shit going down, people going crazy and doing some stupid shit. I mean, yeah, on COVID, it's day who even knows now of lockdown. See, like 3 months. Yeah, 3 months. 3 months since being on lockdown, working from home, working out, and all this shit, and just trying to carry on, having some sort of normalcy. But then when you go out to do some groceries, because yes, stores are open, we can go to groceries with some social distancing measures in place and stuff. But people don't seem to care all that much anymore. Like you see people, even vulnerable looking people, walking around, no masks, no gloves, no nothing, like it's Christmas. And I'm thinking, wait a second. Me, as a fairly healthy person, I walk around wearing masks so that if I actually get the virus, you don't you don't die. Basically, I'm doing a little gesture, not heroic, but just, basic human stuff. And you go around vulnerable as fuck, old, very visibly tired. Like a cough and you're dead. That's sort of vulnerable. And you're there, no mask, in the middle of a pandemic where you might be more likely to die than I would if I get the thing. So yeah, no, people don't seem to care. And you get a bit of noise on social media when people go around protesting, first protesting the lockdown, then protesting the George Floyd's death. And I'm thinking, that's good. Should be free to protest things. Well, to be fair, the COVID deniers, that they protest without a mask, I'm like, right, makes sense. You don't believe the virus exists, so why wear a mask? Doesn't make sense. Like, if you follow the logic all the way through, it makes sense that they don't wear protection, that they bring children with them. They go all the way through their logic. Then on the Black Lives Matter protests, I've seen videos. I've seen videos around people seemingly forgot COVID existed, or maybe they never cared as well. Just holding onto each other, hugging, kissing, jumping around, dancing. It's all good. But only if you're 2 meters apart. And I ain't seen any motherfucker being 2 meters apart unless those 2 meters are filled with other people. Which I find incredibly, incredibly dense. Just, you can't go around like some people, as I'll take on later on that video, talk about us, black people, as being animal, but you can't park yourself in parks like that. Like fucking cattle. Forgetting that there's a fucking pandemic going on. Like, we're not animals. Let's not group as cattle, waiting to just die from that virus coming around. Yeah, but then, it's just my voice out there in the ether on the internet that maybe 10 people are gonna watch, so I'm cool with my words. And you do get some noise on social media here and there about what's going on, but nothing too bad. But then, yeah. And I'm thinking about that whole, being on lockdown, being locked inside a place, locked in a cage. Well, cage. Depending on how well you're doing in life, might look better or less. And maybe you'll be more bold or less bold and go out. And I'm thinking, it's good that people are protesting for what's been happening back in the US, in America. To me, I wasn't really sure that people should protest here because I didn't know a lot. Like, I haven't seen a lot of racist incidents. I actually haven't seen any from my eyes or heard a lot in the UK. Like, the biggest issue I hear about in the UK is people stabbing people. That's the biggest plague that I hear about in the UK. So, yeah. I didn't hear about like people dying because of racism. You can hear about some sort of attacks, like people shouting at you and stuff. I hear about these things. Like, okay, that's bad. They should be called out. But also, it doesn't look anywhere near what's up in the US, as I mentioned in the last episode. Like, it wouldn't take all that much to start a race war back there. And I can see videos of people actually trying to start that shit, like wearing masks or like police-looking equipment, breaking down shops and stuff to try to instigate just hate and division, which of course sucks. But doesn't mean that we have to turn into animals and disregard the rules and ignore, I'd say, ignore the rule of law, you know? Actually, that makes me think. I was checking yesterday, when I thought about recording this episode, about checking out the stats on Worldometers to see if they had like some ethnicity, like ethnic related, I would say, numbers. Like, like, oh, how many Asian people die from COVID, how many black people die from it, how many white people, like all of that. Because I thought, with all this protesting of people being very close to each other without masks, well, I feel like we'll see a little bump of deaths for the Afro-American, or even the black people in general. I feel like we'll see a bump in the next couple of weeks. Just a gut feeling, just people gathering, touching each other, kissing, dancing. Not good. If anything, you're playing white supremacist game by cleansing yourself out of the equation, not following rules of that fucking lockdown that is driving everyone crazy, which I get, which has been driving everyone crazy for the last 3 months. So yeah, that Hyde Park protest thing that I saw, that was yesterday or 2 days ago, I agree with the sentiment, I just don't agree with the implementation of it. And yeah, but that'd be cool. Let me know if you know like a website where I can check the numbers per ethnicity of how many people die from that virus, COVID-19. So I can check. I feel like, there'll be a bump. Not just because there's been protests all over the world. There's been protests in the US, in the UK, in France. Mostly peaceful protests, even though they're being overshadowed by those fuckers who come around breaking shit. Just taking the opportunity to commit crime when people are mourning shocking, brutal death. But yeah, let's see. Because to me, Black Lives Matter, not just when it's a white cop killing a black person, but also when it's a virus killing black people that try to go out, ignoring the virus exists. Matters then too. It does matter then. But yeah, I'm guessing, it's interesting how people choose their concern based on the issue and based on whether their tribe looks better or not. Like, witnessing mostly in the US, like the whole people saying, oh, you idiot, don't protest, don't go protest because you don't believe in COVID existing, which, yeah, I don't agree with, I obviously take precautions, I believe in that the virus exists. Well, I know, we have scientists for that reason, so that they can study shit and let us know what's up, right? So even though I wouldn't agree with people protesting that the virus doesn't exist, at least they go all the way through their own logic that, okay, we don't believe it exists, so we don't need to take precautions because it doesn't exist. Then, unless the whole of the black community worldwide is denying COVID, which I don't think is the case. Even though I heard some stuff from back in Cameroon of people that say, oh, it's just some bullshit for the government to control us. Apparently, all the governments are trying to control people with that virus. I guess they synchronize real well. Oh, yeah, we'll control them because reasons. Let's fuck up the economy, the thing that holds everything together, and stop people from working because control. But the thing is that even if you take a very cynical view, you can't control people that are hungry and that are in a state of unrest, that want to tear shit down. That's not how control looks like. So if anything, even if let's go all the way through. Let's say it is the idea to create a virus to control people, but all you create is people just getting anxious, getting angry, asking questions, locked home, and just making the scenarios up in their heads, and then the tiniest little spark fucks up everything. And I think that whole lockdown situation for the last few months has been like gas mounting inside everybody's head, and that George Floyd murder was the spark that, well, made people go crazy. What was my point? Oh, fuck my point. let's just move on to the episode because we're getting very close to the 15-minute mark. Um, yeah, I mean, what I don't like, well, I think I may have mentioned that about the whole Black Lives Matter thing, that it always seems to be outrage about black people dying just when it's a white person doing the killing. You don't hear about it when you see stuff in China, or like people getting kicked out of malls or just beat down. You don't hear about them when a black guy gets stabbed by another black guy in London, and hearing any Black Lives Matter then. And probably they have just an agenda that, all right, the world is filled with racists. It's blacks against others. You need to submit to us, which I don't believe it's a way to get peace. Peace you achieve by through education and acknowledging the bullshit of the past and the bullshit of the present, so that you can get rid of that bullshit in the future and have like a united community, like, you know, within cities, within countries, throughout the world. That, yeah, you know, one would wish that in 100 years, racism's gone. And not through ethnical cleansing, even though technically that's a way to do it. Like, if you clear out everybody until you have just one color left in the world, technically you can't be racist if there's no one to be racist at. Yeah, now that's not a good point, because technically you could choose something else. Like, okay, we get rid of all the blacks, all the yellows, all the blues, all the whatever. Oh, the redhead are the source of all our problems. And that's how you just, yeah, it's gonna keep going, isn't it? Just, you won't call it racism anymore, you call it redheadism or some bullshit like that. Yeah. Yep, never mind. So not the way to fix the problem. Like, it's just when you just have different people playing the same roles over and over. So it's not gonna change shit. Because people are people, and that's how that shit works. Ignorance prevails because we don't argue against it most of the time. And that's the thing, like, even say at work, you can have people that will know something to be wrong, but can be afraid to speak out, afraid to be honest about it, because I think maybe it's going to put their position in danger. And it could be something similar happening in society, that you think, all right, if I speak up on that issue, maybe I'm getting kicked out of my job. Maybe I'm getting beat up in the street if I speak out against someone who's doing something that I know to be wrong. So I guess there's some of that too. Take some courage to speak out and to stand for your own values. And I'm glad that I'm working in a place where that courage is valued, because in the end, speaking out when you see something wrong, whether professionally or throughout life, makes life better. But yeah, that might not happen anytime soon, because, as I was saying, these problems, when problems arise, depending on which side you sit, like which tribe you belong to, you might consider it a problem that's real and that needs to be tackled, or you consider it something minor that's not even worth your time. Or you can try to take any event coming up to attach your agenda to it. Like that girl, fuck was her name? Laura or Liva or Jiva, the vegan girl who was talking crazy about how animal lives and black lives are the same. I'll put the link of the video somewhere in the description of the episode, but like, I'm sorry. We are not animals, right? Saying, oh, don't kill animals and don't kill black people. And I do love how she doubles down in her apology video, because of course there was backlash. Like, what do you expect? What are you doing? Backlash, and she apologizes, but then says, oh, that's not what I meant to say. But at the end she says, stop killing animals and stop killing black people. Just straight to sneak in, like, oh, that Black Lives Matter is getting a bit of traction and people are talking about it. It's time to sneak some vegan shit in there. I'm like, I'm sorry. How do you tie together vegan cause with a cause defending the biggest fried chicken haters in history of chicken hating? Like, come on. Get the fuck out of here. And I mean, that's the thing. People just trying to bring in their agenda whenever it suits them, trying to steer the wheel towards their cause, even if it has nothing to do with what they're defending. It's like, yeah, just some bullshit everywhere. And I wish there was a little less of that every day. Just less bullshit in the world, just a little less, and then it makes the life a little better. And yeah, that's about it for today's Maybe Daily, June 5th. Remember, we are not animals. Let's not act like it. That was Jean-Domingue Guédé for Maybe Daily. Bye bye.